Turn the volume up. Listen to my whispers. Close you eyes and let the darkness take shape around you. Every creak, every breath, every shadow you imagine is part of the story. Are you ready? This isn't just another ghost story. This one was found. A group of friends who thought they were just exploring another abandoned house. They brought a camera, they brought flashlights, and they never came back. What you're about to hear is their story, the last thing they ever captured. This is the creature beneath the house. They found the house by accident. At least, that's what Ethan claimed later, that they hadn't meant to stop, hadn't meant to step out of the car and wander up the cracked path through the weeds. It was supposed to be just another road trip, 5 friends, one long weekend, and a promise to stay off their phones. They'd been driving for hours through empty countryside when the storm rolled in. Sheets of rain blurred the windshield, lightning forked across the horizon, and before long, they were crawling through fog so thick it erased the road. When the silhouette of the house appeared, a tall, blackened shape against the dying light, it seemed almost like a relief. Shelter. They parked under a leaning oak tree and got out, laughing nervously, their voices swallowed by the wind. The place was enormous. The kind of old farmhouse that looked like it should have collapsed decades ago. Its windows were boarded up, its paint blistered away to bare, gray wood. A porch wrapped around the front, sagging under the weight of time. Maybe it's abandoned, Mara said, peering through a gap in the boards. Her breath misted in the cold. Abandoned, Theo grinned. Perfect, haunted content. Theo always said things like that, half a joke, half a dare. He was the one with the camera, the one who filmed everything for his little YouTube channel, Urban Haunts. They'd done plenty of places before, old motels, forgotten tunnels. But this house was different. Something about it felt waiting. Ethan kicked the front door once, and it gave way with a splintering groan. The smell hit them first. Damp wood, dust, something else, sour and faintly metallic, like rust or blood. Gross, Olivia muttered, pulling her hoodie tighter. Inside, the air was heavy. Wallpaper peeled from the walls in curling ribbons. A chandelier hung crooked, its glass teeth dull with grime. Their footsteps echoed faintly, muffled by the layers of dust that coated everything. No furniture, no pictures, just emptiness. Guys, Mara whispered, I don't think we should. But Theo's flashlight cut through the darkness. Come on. We'll just look around, film a few shots, and go. They split up. Theo and Ethan took the hallway. Olivia and Mara checked upstairs, and Noah stayed behind to film the entryway. For 10 minutes, the house was quiet except for the creak of old boards and the occasional shout, "You've got to see this," from somewhere distant. Then Theo called out, "Hey, you guys need to come see this." They followed his voice to a back hallway, narrower than the rest, where the floorboards bowed inward like something had been pushing up from underneath. At the end of it stood a door, different from the others. It was newer, heavy, solid wood, painted black. And unlike every other door in the house, this one wasn't rotted or warped. It had a lock and a chain. Noah frowned. Weird. Why would you lock this one? Theo ran his fingers over the lock. To keep something out, he grinned. Or in. Mara shot him a look. Don't start. But Theo was already fiddling with the lock. After a minute, there was a click, and the door swung inward. Cold air rolled out, thick and damp. A smell followed, earthy, like mold and wet stone. The beam of Theo's flashlight fell on a staircase, spiraling downward into darkness. Basement, Ethan said softly. Of course it's a basement, Olivia muttered. It's always a basement. Theo turned the camera on himself, grinning. And this, my friends, is where we find the ghosts. The stairs were steep stone, slick with moisture. The walls narrowed as they descended, pressing in close. The air grew colder with every step until they could see their breath. Water dripped somewhere, echoing like a heartbeat. At the bottom, they stepped into a wide room. Their flashlights flickered over old furniture, shattered jars, and something that looked like cages. Small ones, too small for animals. What the hell? Ethan whispered. Mara's light caught something scratched into the stone wall, marks, hundreds of them, gouged deep. I don't like this, she said. Theo, we should go. Theo was filming everything, whispering into the camera like a documentary host. Looks like some kind of storage cellar. Maybe early 1900s. These carvings could be. A sound interrupted him. Soft, wet, a dragging sound, like something moving on the floor. Everyone froze. Then it came again, from behind a row of broken shelves. Olivia took a step back. Please tell me that's not. Theo swung the flashlight toward the noise. Nothing, just shadows and dust. Then something moved, just a flicker. Pale, quick. Ethan swore under his breath. Let's go now. But before they could turn back toward the stairs, they heard the door above slam shut. Silence. Then the faint rattle of the chain. Theo, Mara whispered. Did you lock it? He shook his head. No, it had closed on its own. Olivia started up the stairs, but halfway she stopped. It's locked, she said, her voice breaking. It's actually locked. Theo aimed his light back toward the cellar, his voice trembling now. Okay, let's just stay calm. Then they heard it again, the dragging sound, closer this time. The light caught something at the far end of the room, a shape half hidden in the dark. It was hunched, almost human, but its skin was gray and slick, like it had never seen sunlight. It moved wrong, its limbs too long, joints bending the wrong way. Mara screamed. The thing jerked its head toward them, and they saw its face, or what was left of one. No eyes, just hollows, and a mouth that opened too wide, lined with rows of tiny, black teeth. Theo stumbled backward, his flashlight shaking wildly. The beam hit the shelves, the walls, the cages, and everywhere the same deep scratches. Not carved, clawed. The creature let out a sound, half growl, half whisper. The kind of noise that doesn't come from any animal on earth. Then it started crawling toward them. Everything erupted at once. Ethan shoved Theo toward the stairs. Mara grabbed Olivia's arm. Noah dropped the camera. It clattered across the floor, spinning. "Move," Ethan shouted. "Go, go, go." They ran up the stairs, slamming into the locked door. It didn't budge. Ethan threw his shoulder against it. Nothing. Behind them, the thing was climbing. Its hands gripped the stone. Its fingers splayed too wide. It was fast. Olivia screamed as it reached the bottom step. Theo fumbled with the chain, yanking it, pulling at the lock until his nails tore. It's not. The creature lunged. Ethan turned, swung the flashlight, hit it in the face. The light cracked, went out. Darkness swallowed everything. Mara could hear it, the sounds of struggle, Ethan shouting. The wet, awful noise of something tearing. Then silence. When her eyes adjusted, she could just barely see Ethan was gone. Only a smear of darkness on the steps. She couldn't breathe. "Theo," she whispered, "open the door." He didn't answer. When she turned, he was just staring at the lock, hands shaking. "It doesn't open from this side," he said. "Later hours, maybe. They found the camera again. No one wanted to touch it. But Olivia did, her fingers trembling as she pressed play. The footage was static at first. Then it cleared. The angle was low, facing the cellar. They could hear their own voices, echoing the laughter, the nervous jokes. Then the sound came, the dragging, the scream. The creature rushed the lens, a blur of gray. The feed cut out. Then it flickered back. The camera was still recording, but the room was empty. The only sound was breathing. Slow, shallow, coming from somewhere close to the mic. Then a whisper. "Stay." The clip ended. They didn't know how long they stayed there. Hours, maybe. The air grew colder. Their flashlights dimmed one by one. Every so often, they'd hear something move below. The sound of claws on stone. Then faintly, from somewhere deeper in the cellar, another door creaked open. "There's more," Olivia whispered. Theo shook his head. "No, we're not going down there." But Mara was staring down into the dark, her face pale. "It's not trying to get out," she said. "It's trying to make us go in." Her voice didn't sound like hers anymore. Before they could stop her, she started down the stairs. Slowly, step by step. "Mara," Theo hissed. She didn't answer. She reached the bottom and disappeared into the dark. A few seconds later, they heard her voice soft, echoing up from below. "It's beautiful," she said. Then nothing. Theo and Olivia looked at each other. "We have to go," Olivia whispered. Theo nodded, but when he turned to face the door, it was gone. The wall was smooth where it had been. No hinges, no frame, no way out. Only stone. Olivia backed away until she hit the far wall. "Theo," she said, "what's happening?" He didn't answer. He was staring down the stairs again, listening. A low sound was rising from the dark. Not quite a growl, not quite a voice. Then slowly, something began to climb. They could hear its claws dragging against the stone. Hear the wet sound of it breathing. Theo lifted the camera again, almost without realizing it. The lens caught movement, pale fingers curling over the edge of the last step. Then the face rose into view. Closer now, too close. The camera fell, landing sideways. For a moment, the image tilted, showing Theo's feet, Olivia's shadow on the wall, and behind them, a shape unfolding itself from the darkness. Then everything went black. A week later, hikers came across the house. The door was open. Inside, they found nothing but dust and old footprints. The stairs to the basement had collapsed into rubble. No bodies, no blood, just a camera resting near the doorway. When police reviewed the footage, most of it was corrupted static and noise. But near the end, there was a single clear frame. 5 figures standing at the bottom of the stairs. Only 4 had faces. They sealed the place after that. The locals say the foundation's unstable, that no one should go near it. But sometimes, on foggy nights, people driving that lonely stretch of road swear they see a light in one of the lower windows. And if you stop long enough, if you walk up that broken path and press your ear to the door, you might hear it, breathing, waiting, and somewhere far below the earth, the sound of a chain rattling as something drags itself a little closer to the stairs. If you enjoyed tonight's story, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more nightmares. And remember, what's buried in the dark always finds a way back to the surface.